These here are mushrooms called slippery jack. So called because in wet weather its cap goes very slimy and glossy and very slippery. It's an edible mushroom, quite tasty in flavour, and found in the UK anytime from August to November, most commonly with pine trees. The cap is quite a dark brown when it's wet and it goes slightly lighter when it's dry. It can be quite convex in shape when young, but it does flatten out with age. It has these sponge-like pores underneath, which are a bright, almost lemony yellow when young, but then it does go more of a dull grey-brown or grey-yellow colour with age. You can see this one here is a much older specimen and is more of a yellowy brown now. When they're young, younger than this one, the pores will be covered and therefore not visible by what we call a veil, which will then break away to reveal the pores. And the remnants of the veil leave what we call the skirt. And that's basically this thing here. But because this mushroom is already developing, the skirt has dried up quite a lot. But this is one of the few bolete type mushrooms to actually have a skirt, so this feature is a good indicator that it is the slippery jack. The stem is fairly white to yellow, especially above the skirt, and it's covered in these brown spots. And pretty much all these mushrooms here are aging, and so the skirt is very dried out, and on some of these older specimens, even ones that are older than this, it can basically just become nothing more than a mark on the stem, with the actual skirt having pretty much disappeared. But when younger, the skirt will be white underneath and brown on top from the spores having dropped on it. When it's cut, the colour of the flesh shouldn't change significantly, and it should be a white to light yellow colour. The mushroom should be cooked before eating, so don't eat it raw. And before cooking and eating this mushroom, please do remove the skin on the cap, because there is some evidence that the skin can actually cause diarrhoea and fatigue after eating it. The mushroom itself is best used in soups and stews because it has a very soft, almost mushy texture, which can make it feel not the best in the mouth. It's a lovely flavour, a nice taste, but just not the best consistency and texture in the mouth. And so an even better use for it is to dry it and maybe turn it into like a powdery mushroom flavoured seasoning, or just slice it up and then dry it and then simply rehydrate it when you want to use it. And when you do that, the consistency and texture when you do cook it is actually a lot better than if you'd done that fresh. There are a few similar species, including the larch bolete, but there's nothing toxic you could confuse this mushroom for, as long as you follow the guidance I've just talked about, so it's a safe mushroom to forage for.